are about to get underway. Day 2 of the 2023 Oz Cycling Elite Junior 19 and Para Track Championships. Excellent conditions again, and looking forward to an evening of sprints. Archie Pratt, first of the sprint qualifiers out on the boards. The rider from Bundaberg. He's just completed his first lap. Archie winding up now and gets the bell. Starts the clock and down the back straight. He's got the aero helmet on and hugging that black line. He comes down the finishing straight and records an 11.892, average of 60.54 kilometres an hour. Up next from the University of Queensland, Ben Clayton. Also rides for the Brisbane Hip Clinic. Ben starting to pick up the pace now. Out of the saddle. Gets the bell. Getting plenty of encouragement from the inner field. He's looking nice and aerodynamic. A little wide down there on turn 3. And stops the clock with an 11.859. Ben appears pretty happy with that. Definitely Bryson's very happy with that. Good ride there, Mr. Clayton. Up next, Gerard O'Connell, the grandfather out on the boards, has some Masters World credentials, sprint titles to his name, lots of Australian championship under his belt, and has been going pretty quick in the low twos of late, so renowned for riding a big gear. And starting to wind it up now. Out of the saddle into the dipper. And the riders on a big gear will wind up earlier to get up to pace. Diving down now, starting the clock. Third fastest split, just sub 6. And stops the clock with an 11.34 and an average of 60.33 kilometres an hour. Eric Huang now from the University of Queensland and the Brisbane Hip Clinic on the boards. Eric is well known for being a very good sports physio and has a gym in his garage which he works out at every other day, as with some of the other Brisbane Hip Clinic members. And took last year off to concentrate more on family duties, but it's great to see him back in training and competing here at this state championships. Eric out of the saddle. Down the back straight with plenty of pace. He's looking good. And finishing it off with an 11.264. That's the fastest time so far. All right, Adam Clark circulating around now. He's rides for the Masters team in Trago. He rides the road for them, but has spent a lot of time on the track in the last year and a half. He gets the bell and winds it up. Adam is has some very big power numbers. He's a very quick sprinter at the end of a crit. And it's a 12.3 for Adam Clark. Harry Preston from Townsville out on the boards now. Big, strong lad, Harry, and he'll be looking for a good time here tonight. Picking up the pace now. He'll come round for the final lap. He gets the bell out of the saddle. Heading down the back straight, looking good. And finishing it off, the second fastest time with an 11.632 and an average of 61.9. Ricky Growth up now from Cairns. Cairns Cycling Club have a social ride in memory of Luke as a party this Sunday, and we wish them the very best of that, with that, to Sue and the family. What can Ricky do here this evening? He's up and out of the saddle. This is the sprint lap coming up now. High on the fence. You can see the power going into that bike. Third fastest split, 5.842. Can he finish it off? And a good time there of 11.746 for Ricky. Average of 61.3. Up next, we have the Instagram sensation, Mick Shipley. And he'll be looking for something very quick here. Tonight, Mick is from Balmoral and rides for the Queensland Academy of Sport. Gets the call of build from Coach Formosa. And he's out of the saddle. What can Mick Shipley post here tonight? Dives down, taking plenty of pace into the back straight. Nice aerodynamic position there as he comes around and out of turn 4. Stops the clock with a 10.833. That is the fastest qualifying time so far. Peter Macris now on the boards from the Uni of Queensland. Another member of the Brisbane Hip Clinic. PB around 11.2, I think. Up out of the saddle and building pace down into the dipper. Up the hill around turn 3, out of turn 4, out of the saddle. Nice and early. Can he beat his PB here? He's heading down the back straight. There's been a lot of chatter about him taking it to Nathan Graves here. And it's an 11.552. He shakes the head. He's not happy with that, but there's still a long way to go in this competition. The qualifier just giving you a seeding into the sprint rounds. Obviously, you want to do as well as you can. That third fastest time and an average of 62.33 for Peter Macris. Oh, Unsup from the University of Queensland has joined us over here from Korea and is heading back on Monday, which will be sad to see the boys heading back. We've thoroughly enjoyed their company, and the boys have really improved with their little training camp over here in Brisbane. Oh, is out of the saddle really early. He's trying to get as much pace as he can into the front end of this 200, which is, of course, what you do. He's flying down the back straight. Fastest time with 5.2. Stops the clock with a 10.563. Fastest qualifier so far. And an average of 68, just over 68 kilometres an hour. And that brings up Dougie Higginson. No energy lost in the preamble from Doug Higginson. Conserving as much energy as he can for the sprint lap, taking it nice and slow, but he's starting to build up now. Out of the saddle before the signage. Building up the pace. Dougie's heading to the Worlds with a couple of other locals. Manchester, and looking for a world title. And he stops the clock with the third fastest time, 11.021, just outside of sub 11 and an average of 65 k's an hour. Rider 31, Josh Hack up now. University of Queensland Masters member. And member of the Brisbane Hip Clinic. Has his own line of skin suits, which Duncan Allen will be modelling for us shortly. But all in black tonight, Josh Hack, and he's a real stayer of a sprinter, but what can he post here tonight? Building, and ducking down, hugging that black line down the back straight. Stops the clock at 10.713. Second fastest time so far. Daniel Rickard on the track. He rode incredibly quickly in the team sprint last night, was rider number 1. He's heading to Manchester with Higginson to contest the team sprint in the open category. And he is a very, very quick rider. I can't wait to see what Dan can post here. Rides for Balmoral Cycling Club. Moved up from Canberra. And it's been great to have him up here. Starting to pick up the pace. Daniel Rickard on the boards. About to start. Heading down the back straight. A completely different approach to the 200 from Dan Rickard. And he stops the clock with the fourth fastest time with a 10.907. Average speed of 66 kilometres an hour. And I can't wait to see him in the sprint rounds a bit later on. Up now, also in black, is Bryson Fletcher, captain of the University of Queensland Masters track team, which would be one of, if not the biggest Masters cohort of track riders in the country. He lives for sprinting, this young man, and he's very quick. Getting that entry speed up as he comes into turn 3, out of turn 4, out of the saddle. What can Bryson Fletcher do here? He'll be looking for a PB. He hits the start line. Good speed. Faster split with a 5.188. Can he finish it off? Nice and aero. 10.543. That's the fastest time so far. And Bryson has a rest day tomorrow, so we're going to put him on the microphone. We'll be looking forward to that and his insights. But for tonight, it's all business. But up now is Kim Chang-wook. He goes by the name of Wook, second of our Korean riders, and he's been here for a few months now. Sister Amy was on the switcher for the second half of last night. She's wonderful human beings, and looking forward to seeing what he can post on his beautiful TKO here tonight. They're putting everything into this. You can see the movement in the body as he tries to get as much power into the pedals as he can. Out of turn 4, missed the split, but it's a third fastest, 10.683. .39 kilometres an hour, the average for Wook. Well, this young man, Duncan Allen, he's down as a member of University of Queensland, sponsored by the Gear Shop. He's from Bundaberg, and he puts an enormous amount into the sport. You'll see him at championships looking after the younger ones, and is a real asset, this young man, and a very good rider. He's also got a nice new Argon TKO under him and some beautiful wheels. He is really giving sprinting a good hard push. So we wish him well tonight. Duncan Allen out of the saddle. What can he do here? Duncan Allen, he's up high on the fence. Picture of concentration as he heads down the back straight. He's looking really quick. We didn't get a split, but it's a fastest time with a 10.542 for Duncan Allen. Excellent time now, and that brings Liam Walsh. I'm going to tell you what, it's good to see Liam back on the boards. He's a very good trackie. Better known for the longer events, particularly the Madison, very good Madison rider. And what a summer Liam Walsh has had. And he approaches this with plenty of pace. Liam Walsh from Balmoral Cycling Club has ridden road for Australia this summer. And fourth fastest split, 5.234. and finishes it off with a very handy 10.599. Runa de Schrijver from Belgium now out onto the boards. Runa winding up. 4 riders left in this qualifying, and he's really picking up the pace as he heads into turn 3, out of turn 4, out of the saddle. He's going to hit this with plenty of entry speed. Down the back straight, Runa's flying. Fastest time, just over 5. Finishes it off with the fastest 10.248. Great time there from Runa, and that brings out Nathan Graves. Nathan, last night part of the team with the other 2 riders left to come, Ryan Elliott and Byron Davies, who broke the Queensland team sprint record in the qualifier and then again in the final. Nathan, former Masters 2 World Sprint Champion and Team Sprint Champion. And he did that with Cameron Campling and Patrick Weinrack. Patrick now taken to climbing Everest and all sorts of crazy things. And one of the best surgeons in Queensland. But here comes Nathan Graves, and he's in very good form. Nice and high. He's got that characteristic grimace on his face. You see this bike absolutely straining under the power. It's looking quick. Second fastest, 5.149. And Nathan finishes it off with a 10.462. Runa is going to qualify in the top 3. Nathan in the top 4. That brings out onto the boards the current under-19 world champion from Balmoral, Ryan Elliott, who can ride a sub-10. He did that in round 6 of the AMV Sprint Series, and really looking forward. He's in excellent form. We saw a very good time from him yesterday in the team sprint. Only Byron Davies left. Ryan's looking to beat 10.248. Out of the saddle. Look at the pace. Absolute 100%. Gets down into the saddle. Starts the clock. It's looking good. Sub 5. Sub 5 split. Whoa, 10.061. Very, very close. That's the fastest time so far. Only Byron Davies to come. The track not as fast as it was a couple of weekends ago where we had perfect conditions. But a very good time nonetheless. Just outside of 10 seconds for Ryan Elliott to go into the lead. And Byron Davies, well, we know he can do better, but we'll wait and see. Rode incredibly quickly yesterday in the team sprint. And look at the speed that he generates as he heads down the dipper into turn 3. One of the fastest riders in Australia at the moment, Byron Davies. A mountain of a man, and look at the aerodynamics as he heads down the back straight. It's the fastest split, 4.8. It finishes it off with a sub 10, 9.870. Well, it wasn't that long ago he was struggling to crack 10. And just like a lot of things, as soon as you do, you can just do it over and over and over. And it's fantastic to see these two QAS athletes, Ryan Elliott and Byron Davies, in some form. Well, that's the end of the first event, event 14, which is the men's sprint qualifying. Getting ready for event 15, which is the elite men's sprint round 1. Winners go to round 2, and losers will go to the repechage. Well, Neil, Hamey and Sean Walsh are just working on the pursuit line down there. It appears that they've lost connection, so Neil Hamey's just fixing that up. Dave Moore is telling me I need to continue talking because the silence is deafening on the live stream. Bloody slave driver, I just wanted to get a couple of grapes. So a 9.87 for Byron Davies. He goes to the top of the field. The second fastest was Ryan Elliott with a 10.061. And then it was Runa de Schrijver from Belgium, 10.248. Big thanks to Scott Slade and Felicity Liang on the cameras. We weren't sure they were going to get here before we started, so we said 5:30, but they got here both running in from the main entrance. Ella Liang's on switching tonight. So it's a family affair, except for Red Dog. All smiles down in the centre. Peter Macris is smiling. Not a PB for him, but a good time nonetheless. And we look forward to some great match sprints coming up as soon as the boys have repaired the pursuit line. Ryan Elliott just relaxing down there. Another warm day here in Brisbane. Good conditions. Not as stinking hot as it was a couple of weeks ago. We hit 39 inside the velodrome a couple of weeks ago. We had a bit of a cool change since then, but still the track's running reasonably fast. Some good times there. Would love to get Dave Moore up here into the commentary at some stage. He's very busy with his two superstars, Jackie Mengler-Moore and Ava. And we're looking forward to having Bryson Fletcher up here tomorrow. He'll be commentating. Billy Wright on Saturday. So event 15 will be the elite men's sprint rounds, sprint round number 1. 16 will be the elite women and para C3 individual pursuit qualifying. That's 3,000 metres, first and second to the gold final, third and fourth to the bronze final. We'll then have the elite men and junior men 19 sprint repechage, event 17, and then we'll have a 10-minute break. Draw your attention to the crit series this year. It's a little bit of a different format this time. It's going to be a super series over one weekend. We'll have night crit on Friday the 10th out at Ipswich. On Saturday the 11th of March we'll head out to the Gold Coast to Luke Harrop. And then on Sunday the 12th of March we'll be heading to the Nunda Dome at Albert Bishop Park. Good job there from Neil Hamey and Sean Walsh repairing the pursuit line receiver. And we'll be ready to get going pretty soon. Of course, track nats are coming up very soon. Elite track nats March 15th to 19th. The juniors April 11th to the 14th. And track championships, Masters Track Championships will be the 13th to the 16th of April. The Brisbane Cycling Festival coming up and the Tour de Brisbane, which is a unique and fantastic ride through the city. And this year we have some interesting events, including a dirt crit.
I think we're going to need holders.
We're going to need holders for these first couple of sprinters, so if you're available to come and hold Adam and somebody else. We can have a couple of holders over to the start-finish line, please. So all of the states have championships this weekend, with the exception of Tasmania. And quite often our elite riders will head to other state championships, but that's not happening this year. Most of the other states are starting theirs on Saturday. So you'll be able to tune into their live streams. Well, Adam Clark's got his work cut out here. Adam choosing to walk out. And he's up against Nathan Graves. Nathan qualified fourth fastest with a 10.462. We kick off event 15, the elite men sprints, round number 1. Winners go to round number 2, and the losers go to the repechage. First up, Adam Clark and Nathan Graves. Adam Clark still riding for Enduro on the road, but has been having a crack as a track sprinter now for a little while, and he decides to go over the top of Nathan Graves, and it looks like he's going to approach this as an Enduro and TT 3 laps, and he knows better than to try and sprint against Nathan Graves, so he's going to try and wear him out a little. It's not a bad idea. Nathan Graves now just coming up onto his shoulder and rolling around the outside. Adam sits up and Nathan Graves will go through to round 2. Clark will go through to the repechage. Well, it's good to have a plan, and when you're sprinting against a former world champion sprinter who's in very good form, not too many other options. Unfortunately, it's only 3 laps, not 100 kilometres. Next up, we have Jerry O'Connell and Duncan Allen. Duncan will lead out. A bit of chatter down there. You'd be expecting Jerry to be giving it to the young buck. Commissaire's happy, blows the whistle. Duncan Allen leads out. Jerry moves up to the fence. Duncan keeping a close eye on him. Jerry, the master tactician. Jerry ducks down underneath and he's off. Duncan tried to shut the gate, but Jerry had already assumed the position. He looks over his shoulder. Duncan now going up high to get a little bit of speed off the bank, rolls around the outside. Jerry turns it off and will go through to the repechage. Duncan Allen comfortably through to round 2. Shout out to Melinda, who'll be watching from Bundy. Next up, we have Archie Pratt and Bryson Fletcher. Archie also from Bundaberg. Bryson leading out, Archie up high. I'm going to really watch the pace on the going so slow on the bank. We've seen a lot of riders slip, going too slow on the bank, but Archie's all over it. Archie using the track, and now Bryson moving up. Archie ducks down. Bryson shuts the door. Bryson just keeping Archie at bay. Archie out of the saddle, trying to pick up the pace. Bryson has it covered for now. They come out of turn 3. Archie picks up the pace. Bryson looks over his shoulder. He turns it up, and it's going to be comfortable win there for Bryson. Had a good ride from Archie. The final 200, just under 12 seconds. It looked a lot slower than that, so they were moving along at a reasonable pace. Oh, Unsup and sorry, Ben Clayton. Just had someone trying to get in the door. I will lead out. Both from the University of Queensland. These guys train together on a Sunday. Tend to train in different groups. They don't have a lot of one-on-one racing. But good little move there from Ben Clayton to get to the front position. Oh, happy to sit back at the moment, but he starts to pick up the pace now. Ben Clayton moving up. Ben has a little bit of a lead as they head into the final lap. Looks like O's got that pace covered though, as he comes down over the back, comes over the shoulder on the back straight into turn 3, shoulder to shoulder, and O rolls around to go through to round 2, and Ben Clayton, a good little match sprint there from him, will have to work his way through the repechage. Just signal to him, but he's got to make sure he puts it back in the right position. Well, right up next, Liam Walsh from Balmoral and Ricky Groth from Cairns. Liam Walsh on the front. Liam has as good a bike skills as you'll see, and he loves to throw the bike around. Liam leading from the front, but in the high position, leaving Ricky the opportunity to dive. Hasn't taken it as yet, but he's happy for Ricky to have the sprinter's lane. As they head down the back straight, Liam picks up the pace. Comes over the top and out of turn 4 and has it covered. And a good race there from Ricky, but he'll go through to the repechage. Liam Walsh through to round 2. Harry Preston from Townsville now up against Kim Wook from the University of Queensland. Wook qualifying with a 10.683. Harry with an 11.652. Scott hasn't switched before, Sean. Oh, actually, you don't need it. Sorry. You don't need it for qualifying. Do the switching with you, Scott, please. All right, Harry Preston leading out. He's in the white Townsville kit and Wook in the Brisbane Hip Clinic high vis. Harry happy to roll around on the bottom of the track. Moving up now. Wook moves up to the fence. Harry keeping an eye on him. Wook dives down now. And rolls back up to the fence. Harry moving up. Wook taking the opportunity to dive back underneath. And now he's holding Harry to the fence. Wook takes charge, heading down the back straight. Harry's pace is good, but he's not going to get there. But a good chase, and Wook takes this one. He'll go through to round 2, and Harry will go through to the repechage. Peter Macris is up now, and he's up against his Queensland teammate Josh Hack. Peter qualified with 11.552, and Josh with a 10.713. Getting to the middle of the field now where the times are a bit closer. Peter doing a good job there to stay upright. I'll try that one again. Please. We've seen these tactics from Peter before to get under the skin of his rival. Don't think that any of that wasn't not on purpose. Now he's got Josh Hack completely rattled, won't go anywhere near him. All right, Josh will lead out. Relinquishes the front immediately, and Peter goes to the front. 3 laps on the lap board. Peter keeping an eye on Josh. Peter wanting to get through to round 2, desperate to match up against Nathan Graves. Josh goes early, and it looks like he's going to go long. He's been practicing his 1,000, and can Peter catch him? Josh is out of the saddle. Peter hasn't given up, but there's a big gap to make up. And Josh Axe looks over his shoulder. Peter realises that Josh has got it won, and it was a good move from Josh. Went nice and early and caught Peter by surprise. And Peter will go through to the repechage, and Hack will go through to round number 2. Up next, Eric Huang and Mick Shipley. About half a second between these two riders in the qualifier. But match sprints is a completely different kettle of fish. Eric Huang in the yellow Brisbane Hip Clinic kit. Eric, rider number 1. Mick Shipley in the QAS kit. Rider number 16. And this will be a good little matchup. Eric leads out. You don't see too many riders riding straight onto the bank, but you watch Eric in his the lead up to his qualifying sprint, and he can ride very slowly on the bank and keep it upright. Eric just keeping Michael on the fence. Eric now diving down. A lap and a quarter to go. Out of the saddle into turn 1. Mick looks pretty comfortable at the moment. Can he get around? Eric out of the saddle. Mick coming around turn 3, turn 4. Looks to have the ascendancy. Can Eric hold him off? And Mick accelerates over the top. He wins that one and he'll go through to round 2. Mick Shipley is a C5 para sprinter. He won a bronze medal in the 2022 World Para Track Championships. And he's known for a very big following on social media. Coming up now, Daniel Ricard and Dougie Higginson. These two are heading to Worlds together in a team sprint, open category team sprint. But right here now, they're rivals. Ricard in the black and Higginson in the Hip Clinic yellow. There's only about 0.1 of a second between these two riders in the qualifier. We're getting to the middle of the field where the riders are more equally, more equal ability. Daniel moving up to the fence and leaving that channel for Doug, which he takes. So the sprint is on. The lap and a half to go. Higginson has a good lead. Daniel Ricard is very, very quick. Ricard's coming down the back straight. He's got plenty of pace. He comes up onto the shoulder. Higginson is best, but Daniel Rickard too strong, and the two teammates heading to Manchester go head to head, and Rickard takes that one, and Higginson will go through to the repechage. All right, up next is our elite women and para C3 women individual pursuit qualifying, 3,000 metres up on the back straight. I'm trying to see who's on the back straight. Emma Stevens on the back straight. Emma recently achieved a silver medal in the World Junior Championships in the team sprint. And Paige Greco, OAM, is an Australian para cyclist, and she's won gold medals at the 2019 World Track Championships. In women's pursuit in Tokyo, she broke the world record, setting a new record of 3.52 in the 3,000 metre individual pursuit at the Tokyo Paralympics. Well, out of the gate like a bolt, Paige Greco, Olympian world record holder. What can she do here tonight? Emma Stevens had an early exit last night after sitting up a bit too early in the sprint, and she'll be looking for something here tonight. The split, and Emma is up by 0.4 of a second. Early days, however. The 3,000 metre time trial, you really have to time your effort. Well, there's not much in it with, I think, 9 laps on the lap board. Emma's still up by the smallest of margin. The margin has come down. It's 8 laps on the lap board. Emma, a sprinter, and this is really going to hurt. Paige now moves to the lead, and she's picked up almost a second in that one lap. .42 the split for Paige Greco. Lead out to just over 2 seconds now. There's 5 laps on the lap board. Paige is still looking good. Emma in a good position. It's all hard work as a sprinter in the 3,000 metres. Page broke the world record in this event with a 3.52.283 in the Tokyo Paralympics. The superstar here out on the front straight. She's almost in the same straight now, which will give her someone to chase, but I don't know if they see each other. They look down onto that black line. 3.02 the split. So up by about 5 seconds now. 2 laps on the lap board. Greco into the back straight. Page gets the bell for the last lap. Emma gets the bell now as well. Page coming in to turn 3. The legs will be burning, pushing to the line, and stops the clock with a 4:02.332. And Emma Stevens 4:07.930. All right, up next, looks like we have looks like Caitlin Corset over there on the back straight. Maddie Taylor from the Uni of Queensland. Caitlin, of course, from Townsville. And Maddie Taylor from the University of Queensland, and rides for the Women's Racing Project, powered by 4PL, and the owner of 4PL. He's in Huckabah at the moment. He may be watching, or he may be in the bar or on the slopes, but shout out to Anthony Hawkins from 4PL, who's puts a big investment into women's cycling in southeast Queensland. So shout out to the Women's Racing Project team. All right, Maddie Taylor is in the 4PL kit, which is the pink, multicoloured pink and purple, a lovely kit. Caitlin Corset on the back straight in the black. All right, both girls out of the gate. Caitlin probably with the better start, but there's a long way to go. And Caitlin's gone out very quickly. Caitlin with a 22.5, Madison with a 24.889. So a bit of work to do. Caitlin has started very quick. Fastest split so far with a 40. Second fastest split now for Madison Taylor. She's starting to speed up. And it's the pacing yourself in the individual pursuit is the trick. Getting yourself up to speed, maintaining that speed, not blowing up in the back end. And everyone has a different approach, different ability, different set of skills. But Caitlin is out to a good lead at the moment, and it's almost exactly 2 seconds. 7 laps on the lap board. Maddie's got some work to do. Caitlin is looking pretty comfortable. So it's now come down to under a second. So Maddie Taylor starting to lift. That fast start from Caitlin might be costing her now, but Maddie looks like she's going to go into the lead, and she does. The fastest time, the 1.56, but it's very, very close. Only about 2/300ths of a second behind Caitlin Corset. 5 laps on the lap board. It's neck and neck. Maddie splits 2:15, Caitlin 2:17, but it's about 1.4 seconds the difference. Maddie Taylor's got Louise Jones as her handler. Caitlin has Dad. First and second to the gold final, third and fourth to the bronze final here. Maddie currently with the fastest time, 2.53 the split. She's up by about 3.5 seconds. There's 2 laps on the lap board. .13. We're looking at the first and second times here. Caitlin went out very quickly, and Maddie's been building. And Maddie gets the bell. She's got the fastest time with a lap to go, 3.33. 3.36 for Caitlin. She gets the bell. Madison Taylor all the way, says Louise Jones. She finishes off with the fastest time, 3.52. Caitlin Corset, second fastest time, 3.55.65. And that concludes event number 16, Elite Women and Para C3 Women Individual Pursuit Qualifying. We move to event 17, which is the Elite Men and Junior Men 19 Sprint Repechage. Winners will go through to round 2. And there'll be a 10-minute break between this and event 18, which is round 2. All right, first of the repechage rounds, and we've got Dougie Higginson and Jerry O'Connell, both boys from uni. Jerry with the white disc and Dougie with the black disc. He leads. Jerry picking up the pace a little and heads to the fence. Dougie keeping a close eye on him. Jerry winding up. Now he drops down, coming out of turn 2 with some pace. Dougie looks over his shoulder. Jerry's right there, so he picks up the pace. There's still a lap and a quarter to go. They come around turn 4. And Jerry in the slipstream. Dougie keeping a close eye. He picks up the pace now. Jerry out of the saddle. Dougie controlling it as they come down the front straight. And we'll head to round 2. Eric Huang now waiting in behind the gate. It looks like Archie Pratt might be coming to join him. Yes, it's going to be Eric Huang from the Uni of Queensland up against Archie Pratt from Bundaberg. This is the repechage, so the winner will go through to the round number 2. The fastest riders, they get a break. That's why it's good to post a good time. A little bit of an adjustment there. Archie's second rider. Eric will lead this one out. So he moves up to the high position, second position up near the fence. Commissaire's happy and Eric heads off. Archie heads down to the safety of the black line at that speed and a little bit of a wobble. Not used to riding so slow. Eric is the master of riding slow on the bank here at Anamir's Velodrome. And it can be quite daunting when he holds you on the fence at such slow speed when you're not used to it, but he does defy gravity on these almost 44-degree bends. Pace has picked up a little now. Eric keen to get through to round 2. He's holding Archie at bay for now, and he picks up the pace. Archie comes around the outside. He's got a good turn of pace there, Archie Pratt. Eric accelerates out of turn 1, turn 2. And Archie's not giving up, though. He comes back at him on turn 3. But good ride there from Archie. But Eric will go through to the next round. So Eric will be very happy with that, and the boys acknowledge each other And that brings us to the next of the repechage match sprints, which is Peter Macris and Ben Clayton. All right, Ben Clayton will lead out. He's wearing his favourite Padali kit, which is the red and black, and Peter Macris in the yellow. Peter Macris, the fastest qualifier, so you'd expect him to get through, but anything can happen in a match sprint, and Ben Clayton is not a bad match sprinter at all, so this is anybody's race. Very slow on the back straight. Shout out to Carsten Rickett, who's watching from his lounge room on the Gold Coast. And son Luke picked up silver medal behind Noah Blannon and Seb Collins last night in the 1,000 metre, and some very good racing from those boys. But right now we're watching the grass grow with Ben Clayton and Peter Macris. Peter picking up the pace a little now. Ben trying to keep him up high. There's the bell. Who'll be the first to move? It's Peter Macris. Peter, with that powerful turn of pace that he's got. But Ben Clayton's coming back at him. Can Peter Macris hold it off? Yes, he can. And he'll go through to round two. He'll be very happy with that. Ben Clayton has put in a big effort there, but in the end, Peter Macris will go through. And he'll be very happy to be in round two. All right, to finish us off, we have three riders: Adam Clark, Ricky Groth from Cairns, Harry Preston from Townsville. I always think of Josh Hack and Bryson Fletcher when this song comes on. Well, there's nothing more motivating for a sprinter than the song Love Is in the Air. Adam Clark will lead out. Ricky from Cairns, second wheel, and then Harry Preston. It's anyone's ball game, this one. Three pretty equally talented riders out there. That's hopefully we get another ride around at snail pace on the black line, because that was pretty stimulating. But a little more animation in this one. Harry Preston moving to the front. It's always interesting riding against two other riders. Quite often you're keeping your eye on one and then the other one jumps. Adam Clark picking up the pace just a little. Ricky doesn't want to get left behind. Ricky pushes Nathan up, and Adam has the opportunity to take a flyer from there if he wants it. And he has been going a long game. Ricky can see what's happening and he's going to cut him off. And then he dives down. It's a good move from Ricky Growth. Can he hold on? Harry Preston is in second wheel. Adam Clark is settled in behind his wheel. As they come down the back straight, Ricky still has enough pace by the look of it. Harry's coming with speed, but Ricky's got this one won, and he'll move into round two. A valiant effort there from Harry Preston at the line, but a great move. He pushed the boys up. When they weren't watching, he dove back down again, got himself the ascendancy, and then had the pace to hold them off. Good racing there from Ricky, and he's earned his place in round two. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll now have a 10-minute break before we head to round two. All right, we've amped up the music in anticipation of the sprint rounds. For those people that just walked in, there is still some spare seats on the back straight. Just click off the screen. All right, a big opportunity for Ricky Growth to ride against one of the fastest men in Australia. And Ricky might be saying it's a big opportunity for Byron Davies. All right, Ricky now holding Byron up at the fence. Moves down now to the blue line, and Byron ducks down underneath and picks the pace up, looks over his shoulder. Just keeping an eye on Ricky. They get the bell. Ricky's putting in a good effort as they head down into the back straight. He's holding some pace. Ryan turns it up and will take this one comfortably. And a good effort from Ricky Growth from Cairns, but Byron Davies will move through to the next round. Well, here we go. The most anticipated matchup of the championships. Peter Macris and current junior sprint world champion Ryan Elliott. Peter Macris will lead out. All right, Peter Macris in the yellow Brisbane Hip Clinic kit and Ryan Elliott in the QAS colours. This will be a big moment for Ryan Elliott to ride against the great Peter Macris, local personality. And Peter calling the shots at the moment. Peter turning up the pace a little. He's heading up onto the bank and dives down, coming out of turn 4. And Peter's off. Ryan with the chasing. He looks pretty composed at the moment. Comes out of turn 4 with plenty of pace. Peter giving it everything. Ryan coming up on the shoulder as they come into turn 3. Over the top in turn 4. And a good race there from Peter Macris, but a comfortable win in the end for Ryan Elliott. Up next, Eric Kwang, Runa Destrova. As we welcome Clayton Carnes to the velodrome. Eric Kwang in the yellow Brisbane Hip Clinic kit. Runa Destrova from in the Belgium sky blue. Runa happy to go down to the safety of the apron, and Eric again demonstrating his very slow riding on that. Eric picks up the pace now on the back straight and staying high. Eric Huang would dearly love to win this one and get through to the next round. Masters rider, it's great to see so many Masters riders here supporting the elites. Three. Runa taking the opportunity to go to the front. Eric to chase now. Runa's very quick. Eric just swung up to give himself some height, and Runa's out of there. Runa will take that one comfortably. Up next, Dougie Higginson and Nathan Graves. All right, Dougie Higginson leading out. He's in the yellow Brisbane Hip Clinic kit, and Nathan Graves in the Scody blue and red arm. Dougie leading them down into the back straight. Two laps to go. Dougie Higginson on the front. Nathan Graves, who's in very good form. Qualifying time of 10.462 for Nathan Graves. 11.021 for Dougie. Nathan now dropping in as they head down the front straight, and Nathan leaving nothing to chance. Plenty of respect for Dougie. Rolls around the outside. Dougie sits up, and Nathan Graves will go through to the next round. Right up next, Daniel Rickard and Duncan Allen. Duncan leading out in the black and yellow camo, and Daniel Rickard, number 19, black and white helmet, black skin suit. Duncan Allen will lead out. Duncan Allen still leading as they come round for the completion of the first lap. Duncan picking up the pace now. They get the bell. Rickard attacks and goes round the outside. Duncan Allen responds. Can he hold him out? Rickard goes around the outside. He's got the ascendancy. He's going to take this one out. Very, very fast Masters rider right there. And unfortunate for Duncan Allen, he will not progress. But Daniel Rickard finds himself in the quarterfinals. That there is one very fast Masters rider. All right, up next, Mick Shipley and Bryson Fletcher. Both these riders will be very keen to go through to the quarterfinal. Mick Shipley will be leading out. He's in the QAS kit with the maroon, and Bryson Fletcher in all black. Very, very slow heading into that first turn, picking up the pace a little bit now. Mick Shipley on the front. Bryson holding Mick up to the fence as they finish the first lap. A little bit of friendly push and shove there up as they roll around up high. They get the bell. Shipley picks up the pace. Shipley now trying to go around the outside. Bryson holding him off. Bryson has the ascendancy as they go into turn 3. Looks like he's going to hold him off. Mick sits up and Bryson will go through to the quarterfinals. .09 last 200 metres, so wasn't cruisy out there. And Bryson will be very happy with that. Up next, and Josh Hack. This is event 18. The elite men and junior men 19 sprint round 2. After that we'll have the Paramen C3 individual pursuit, where we'll see Kyle Willis from Moreton Bay Cycling Club. And then we'll head to the quarterfinals of the sprints. And then we'll have the women's under 19 individual pursuit, Eliza Carnes and Georgia Wilson. But right now we've got Josh Hack and Unsup. Mates who trained together at the University of Queensland, heading back to Korea on Monday apparently, and it's been great to have him and Wook here. They're soaking up their time out in this round 2. Josh moving up to the fence now as they head along the back straight. Taking the opportunity to go to the front. Moves back down, rolls back up again, keeping an eye on Josh. Josh now picking up the pace as they head down the back straight, goes around over the top. Responds, but Josh has got plenty of pace. Good acceleration there as he went over the top. Can Josh hold him off? O's putting everything he can into it. Josh appears to be holding. O's gaining, but there's just too much to do, and he pulls out. And Josh Hack will take this one, and he'll move to the quarterfinals. Up next, we're going to have Wook and Liam Walsh. Walsh being rolled up onto the start line now by Coach Julian Elliott. And Jerry bringing Wook right a 2 in this match sprint. Liam Walsh leads out in the QAS kit, and you'd expect Liam to keep the pace high from the start. Walks right up with him, out of the gate reasonably quick. Liam Walsh. Wook dives down and takes the ascendancy, and he holds Liam to the fence as they go around turn 1 for the second time. The pace is reasonably high. A big flick from Liam Walsh. Wook still holding, Liam heading high, and he's got over the top now. Can Wook hold on? Wook does hold on. Not into the sprinter's lane as yet. Liam Walsh is coming with pace. He's got a good dive down there into turn 1. Wook's fighting back, but Liam Walsh too strong. Beautiful dive down at the end of the start-finish straight. Liam Walsh takes it. Great ride there from Wook. But Liam Walsh will progress, and almost an identical time to Josh. 11.07, previous race was 11.09. Well, that's it for event number 18. Now we move to event number 19. And we do have 2 riders out there, and it's going to be Kyle Willis from Moreton Bay, who's on the front straight. One on each. If she's here. Well, on the front straight, we've got Kyle Willis, National Road Champs second in 2020, individual time trial second in 2020, UCI Paratrack GP 1K ITT second, UCI Paratrack GP 3K second, UCI Lakeside first in the time trial. He has more awards, honours and achievements, and on the back straight is Keely Kitkovex, and this is the individual pursuit final. Both riders out of the gate. I said don't leave. First split, and Kyle is up by less than a second. Right, Kyle split with a 57.69, 1.02 for Keeley. Kyle now in the same straight as Keeley. And Kyle is going to make a catch pretty quickly. There's 7 laps on the lap board. So Kyle now making the catch, going around the outside. Will continue for the time. 6 laps on the lap board. And Keeley riding well. And he does have a very highly credentialed opponent that it's up against, but it's doing a good job. He'll be looking for a PB. Kyle now stops the clock with a 2:07, and there's 5 laps on the lap board. Keeley at 2:19. Nick Formosa, a handler for Kyle. He has podiums a mile long, Kyle Willis. He was awarded a Tier 2 scholarship within the 2022 Sport Australia Hall of Fame Scholarship and Mentoring Program. Keeley doing a good job on the back straight there. Kyle Willis powering on 3:03. His split, getting to, there's only 2 laps to go in this race. Keeley still looking good out there. He's final lap now for Kyle Willis, and their legs must be absolutely burning. A little bit of a wobble there down onto the apron as he's starting to fatigue. Keeley coming around turn 4, and he will get the bell. Kyle Willis is going to close it out with a 3.40239. Keeley now is riding well, coming out of turn 3. Goes a little bit high on that last turn, and will finish up with a 3:59.296. All right, now we go to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals in the men's, elite men's and under 19s sprint. Stay here, there's another individual pursuit. What? Yeah, okay. All right, we're getting to the pointy end of the men's sprints now. we're just waiting for the quarterfinals of the team sprints, and a few riders down there getting ready. So we're going to have the quarterfinal of the elite men's and junior men 19 sprints. Event number 21 will be the junior women 19 individual pursuit between Eliza Carnes and Georgia Wilson. We will then go into the match sprint rounds. And we'll have the elite women and para C3 individual pursuit final before the sprint final and the conclusion of today's events. A couple of QAS athletes now heading out to the start line. Byron Davies and Liam Walsh. Byron Davies will lead out, both riders in the QAS kits. Liam with the black and green helmet. Byron Davies distinctive because he is a monster on a track bike. Liam Walsh, a very good rider, has got his hands full here with Byron Davies. But if you're looking for an animated race, put Liam Walsh in it. And always very entertaining. Has some pretty insane bike handling skills. And already he animates the race. He has a lot of pace. And Byron Davies, obviously one of the faster riders in Australia at the moment. But Liam Walsh is no slouch, that's for sure. Byron goes to the front and looked like Liam was sitting up, but he settles back into his aero position, has another crack, and Byron has that one comfortably. But a good little race there. It's always fun watching Liam Walsh ride. All right, up next, Ryan Elliott, and looks like Josh Hack. The elite Queensland Championships has always been a relatively small affair of late, with a lot of our road cyclists not coming back to compete. Liam Walsh, though, very good to see him back and supporting the championships, as is the number of Masters riders who have come out and bolstered up the field. And some quite competitive as well. But here Josh Hack has his hands full with Ryan Elliott. Josh leads out in the black kit. Ryan Elliott in the QAS kit. A very, very slow start to the first lap. It's a tactic used by sprinters to see if you can make your opponent die of boredom. Josh moving up to the fence very slowly. Ryan Elliott with all the skills. All right, well, that was fun. They pick up the pace a little bit as we come close to the conclusion of the first lap. Josh now picking up the pace. 1 3/4 laps to go. He fancies the long game. He picks up the pace. Ryan Elliott with a little bit of work to do to catch him. Ryan now on the back straight, putting in a big effort. He comes out of turn 2. Josh is still ahead by about a bike length coming into the final turns. Ryan Elliott turns it on and rolls across and will move through to the quarterfinals. And a good race there from Josh Hack. And the riders just acknowledging one another. And Ryan Elliott will progress. Up next, Bryson Fletcher and Runa de Schrijver. We saw Georgia Wilson down there and Eliza Khan's getting ready for their individual pursuit. Eliza Khan's will be handled by big sis Brooke Khan's, who now plays a vital role in training our junior track team. Runa will, in the sky blue, will lead out. Bryson Fletcher will desperately want to get through to the quarterfinal, but he has his hands full with this pocket rocket, which is Runa de Schrijver. Completion of the first lap. Runa still on the front and in control of this race. Bryson Fletcher moving up closer to the fence. Runa has quite the turn of pace and a very impressive top speed, and he accelerates. Bryson with a good move there, down, moves on down on the inside, looks over his shoulder, and he hasn't gone full bore yet, but he has the advantage. Here comes Runa down the back straight into turn 3. Bryson's going to want to try and hold him out, can he? They come out of turn 4. Can Runa get over the top? It's very, very close. I think Runa got there. Well, that was very, very close, and he has an absolute turn of pace, but Runa de Schrijver gets there. Fantastic ride from Bryson Fletcher. It acknowledges the prowess of our Belgian rider, who absolutely turned it on. It was a great dive from Bryson Fletcher to get to the front. He didn't go full ball, but there was nothing in that in the end. But the Belgian got there. Great to see the sportsmanship between the riders, and captain of University of Queensland put in a valiant effort there, and unfortunately bows out, but Runa will go through to the quarterfinals, and so he should. A very, very good ride. Up next, Nathan Graves and Daniel Rickard. These two, together with Jackie Menglemore, posted a team sprint time a few weeks back, which was thought to be his second best time. Second best ever time in the world. Nathan Graves looking around for the commissaire. Commissaire is happy, and they start the match sprint, the Masters riders, but don't be deceived, these two Masters riders are still very much elite pace. And they will be riding together with Dougie Higginson in Manchester, chasing a world title and I believe a world record. Nathan Graves obviously has been there and done that in the M2 category. And I must learn what Daniel Ricard's past involves, but I'm sure it's a lot of awards, podiums, honours and achievements. Nathan Graves on the front. He knows that Ricard has a big turn of pace. They get the bell. Ricard turns it on, same place he did with a lap to go. And he's accelerating down the back straight, but Nathan Graves has his measure as he comes out of turn 4. Nathan Graves look over his shoulder. Daniel turns it off and Nathan will move through. Now Nathan Graves getting that one and will move through to the quarterfinals. All right, so now we move to event number 21. We have Eliza Carnes from Balmoral Cycling Club and Georgia Wilson, under 19, individual pursuit final, 4,000 metres. Georgia Wilson on the back straight and Eliza Carnes on the front straight. Gold and silver to be determined here. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Out of the gate. Brooke Carnes telling Eliza, 3/4 of a lap. Good start from Georgia Wilson. She seems to have a little bit of an advantage, but there's a very long way to go. It's very, very close. Georgia Wilson up by just 0.361 of a second, so absolutely nothing in it. Both these riders under 19. Eliza Carnes only been on double discs for a couple of weeks and said it was fast but a bit strange. Eliza Carnes now has picked up 0.6 of a second. and moves to the front by the same margin she was behind in the last lap. But still a long way to go in this individual pursuit. Georgia Wilson down by a second now. Eliza Khan's building up nicely. All right, so Eliza Khan's up by 1.3 seconds and the gap has dropped, but there is not much of this race left to run. They both get the bell. It's down to half a second. Eliza Khan's has hit the wall a little bit. There's doors opened up a little bit for Georgia Wilson. It's very, very close. Can Eliza Khan's hold on? Georgia Wilson is pushing as hard as she can. Their legs will be absolutely burning. It looks like Georgia Wilson might get there. It's very, very close. And Georgia Wilson on the last lap. She picked up a second in the last lap. Best part of, and she will take the gold. Eliza Khan's just outside with a 0.537 difference between the two riders. But a great finish there from Georgia Wilson. Her first lap was faster. Eliza Khan's built up and led for most of the race. But in the last lap, Georgia Wilson was able to come over the top and take the gold. Eliza Khan's takes the silver. All right, that takes us to event number 22, which is heat 1 of the sprint semi-final. Right, so the commissaires are just on the clock, making sure that the sprinters have their full 10 minutes of regulated break in between the sprint rounds. So just a couple more minutes before we get on to event number 22, which is the first heat of the semi-finals. keep an eye on this. If I touch something and it goes up, then you... Here. All right, Nathan Graves up against Byron Davies. Nathan Graves leads out. He's in the Balmoral Scody blue. And Byron Davies in the QAS kit follows. Byron Davies comfortable to give Nathan a bit of a lead there, but staying nice and high so that he has a good run in. Picking up the pace. Two very fast riders out there on the track at the moment. Nathan Graves goes with a lap and a bit to go. He takes it up high to get the run down into the back straight. And Byron Davies has some work to do, but has plenty of pace. He comes around him on turn 4. Nathan sits up. And Byron will take the first of 3. Final 200, 10.66. It's pretty quick. Up next, Ryan Elliott and Runa Deshriva. Ryan Elliott in the QAS kit is rider number 1, and Runa in the sky blue kit. The semi-finals are the best of three, this being the first heat. They head down the back straight, and it's all very polite at this stage. Two very fast riders. It will not be like that for much longer. The boys out of the saddle now as they still a gentle pace as they head into turn one for the second time. Ryan Elliott keeping a close eye on Runa. They move their way up the track now. They will come round for the bell. Ryan Elliott happy with that lead. So accelerating, putting absolutely everything into it. Runa's coming. He's got plenty of pace. Elliott out of the saddle. And Ryan Elliott will have enough. But Runa can really get that bike moving. And Elliott will take the first of three. And it was a good little move. He had enough of an advantage there, so he took it. Took the opportunity, and Runa wasn't able to close the gap. So expect to see some different tactics in the second hit out. We're going to move now to presentations for event 19 and 21, and on the conclusion of that, we'll be back for heat 2 of the sprints. Just keep an eye on that volume for me, please. just waiting a few more minutes so that the riders can get their 10-minute break in between races. All right, the boys getting to their feet now, getting closer to heat number 2. I can't see them.
Oh, okay.
He does that. All right, Byron Davies leading off this time. Byron one up. Big Byron Davies. Nathan Graves is a big man, but he looks like a little school kid next to the monster that is Byron Davies. But isn't it great to see Nathan Graves back on the boards and in fantastic form. He took a couple of years off and has got himself a Bachelor of Education, and he's working as a school teacher up in Toowoomba. They're lucky kids. And back training and in some great form. Byron Davies, of course, is one of the up-and-coming sprinters in Australia at the moment. Had a bit of a battle breaking the 10-second mark, but as soon as he did, he's just continued to get faster and faster. Byron now turning it up, the lap and a half to go. He's pointing out that he's got a long game, and Nathan Graves turns it off. Byron looks over his shoulder and will cruise through to the final. And great racing there from Nathan Graves. All right, up next. Will be Runa Deshriva and Ryan Elliott. Ryan Elliott got the first one, and we might see some different tactics from Runa this time. For those of you who are watching at home, Runa's in the sky blue and Ryan Elliott in their QAS kit. This is heat number 2 of the semi-final. Ryan Elliott won the first one. Runa will lead out this time. Oh, pretty comfortable first lap there. The guys just eyeing each other off. Runa staying in the lead, now starting to move his way up the track. Keeping an eye on Ryan, rolls back down again. And Ryan happy to roll down. Runa now out of the saddle. Moving his way up to the blue line. And back down again. And Ryan Elliott attacks. He wants to lead going into the back straight. Runa sits up and Ryan sees, and it'll be Ryan Elliott going through to the final. A big attack there on turn 4, and Runa will head to the bronze ride with Nathan Graves. Well, that means we'll have a 10-minute break while we wait for the boys to recover before we have the first heat of the sprint final, event 25, and then we'll have the elite women and C3 women's individual pursuit. Only a couple of events to go, but a couple of mandatory breaks. It's going to string it out a little bit. Smoke if you got them. Anybody out in the centre field that dances gets free croissants for a year. Now we're playing Neil Hamey's favourite song from his favourite artist, Britney Spears. Where's Clayton? Where's Clayton? All right. Next break, you're up. Actually, next break, you've got to get the commissaires to do. How about the moves on that Clayton Carnes? So we've lined up I don't know if we're going to have another break, but if we have another break, Clayton's been set up to do a little dance for us. We tried to get the commissaires dancing, but as you know, commissaires don't have much of a creative, fun side. Not when they got the blue shirt on. Apparently some of them are actually quite fun when they take that off. All right, here we go. First heat of the finals coming up, and it is Runa de Shriva versus Nathan Graves, best of 3. This is for the bronze. All right, looks like Nathan Graves will be leading out, and I'm sure you all know by now, those watching at home, but Nathan Graves is in the Balmoral Scotty darker blue, and Runa is in the sky blue with the beautiful Belgian colours on the back. Nathan Graves leads out the first race in this best of 3 bronze final. And our next final race will be Ryan Elliott and Byron Davies. So Nathan Graves just keeping a close eye on Runa as they go around and out of turn 2 for the second time. Runa staying up nice and high. He does have quite a turn of pace and a top speed. And Nathan Graves leaving nothing to chance. He picks the pace up. He's comfortable with that lead. Runa's coming out of turn 2. Runa has the ascendancy as he comes down the back straight. Has he got enough? It's hard to get round on this bank, but can he? Can't. He comes round on turn 4 and he comes up on the shoulder and Runa takes it. Well, Nathan went pretty long there. He had 4 or 5 bike lengths and he was happy with that. But Runa, that top speed of his, quite something. And there's quite a bit of racing in the legs now. So Runa will take the first one. And he is 1 win from a bronze medal in this elite sprint. But how about Nathan Graves? He's come back from a couple of years off and has got plenty of form. But this is the matchup that we've all been waiting for. Byron Davies and Ryan Elliott, 2 sub-10 sprinters. And Byron Davies being led up to the line by head coach Nick Formosa, both QAS athletes. And Ryan Elliott by QAS coach and dad and financier Julian Elliott. Byron Davies leading out. They've got the same kit on and they've got the same bikes. So the best way to tell them apart is one's massive, and the other one's normal size. They are both very, very quick. Track stand there from Byron Davies, and Ryan rolls in front and then down to the duck boards and leaves Byron to take the front again, which he does. That's the first lap done and dusted. 2 to go. Byron Davies on the front. Ryan Elliott is ducking down and going to the front again, picking up the pace. Ryan keeping Byron up high. They get the bell. Byron ducks down, then comes back up again. Now Ryan Elliott, full tilt. Down the back straight. Byron Davies coming with a lot of pace, but Ryan Elliott, does he have enough? Can Ryan Elliott hold on? They come down to the finish line. Ryan Elliott holds on. Can you believe it? The youngster, the under-19, he takes one over Byron Davies. Well, that's an upset. It's one of 3. Byron Davies was coming with pace, but Ryan Elliott just had enough to hold him off. 10.42 was the final 200. Well, well, well. Ryan Elliott has one hand on a gold medal in the elite sprints, but Byron Davies is far from finished. And that will be very, very interesting. We're going for the gates now. We're heading to event number 26, and that is the elite women in para C3 women's individual pursuit. It's 3,000 metres. Julian Elliott's heart must be bursting out of his chest. It's so nerve-wracking watching your kids race. Emma Stevens on the back straight. And Paige on the front straight. She was quite dominant in the qualifying. Both girls out of the gate. And Paige Greco is rider number 41. She has the Australian helmet on. Emma Stevens has the white and grey helmet. Paige has a gold medal in the pursuit at the 2020 Tokyo Paralympic Games. 2 bronze in the time trial and the road race. Three golds, a silver and a bronze at World Championships, and a gold and a bronze at the Road World Championships. And just like that, it's all over. So congratulations to Paige Greco on the gold medal and Emma Stevens silver. I was still busy reading Paige's accomplishments. By the time I'd finished that, the race was over. But good on Emma Stevens for coming out and racing that one and giving Paige someone to compete against. Emma Stevens, obviously a sprinter and the current silver medalist in the women's sprint in the under-19 category. In the qualifier, Caitlin went out very quick, and then Madison built and took out the qualifier, but it's a whole new race now for the gold and silver medal. Madison Taylor in the pink and purple on the home straight, and in the back straight, Caitlin Corset in the black. Wishing the ladies the very best in this gold final. After this, we'll have heat 2 of the sprint finals and heat 3 if required, and then presentations, and we'll be done for the evening, and we'll be back here tomorrow at 4:30 for warm-up and 5:30 for the start of racing. "20 seconds on the shot clock. And Caitlin Corset out of the gate a bit quicker than Maddie, as was the case in the qualifier, and Caitlin a lot faster in the early laps. Really goes out hard. And maintaining the speed's the trick in the individual pursuit. But Caitlin's gone out to a flyer at 22.4, some 3.2 seconds faster than Madison Taylor. So it looks like Caitlin's approach is go out as hard as she can and then try to build a big enough gap. When she fades in the latter part of the race, she has a big enough lead. Madison Taylor, on the other hand, starts out steady and tries to build. But Caitlin Corset out to a big lead. She comes across, stops the clock at 58 and some 3.5 seconds slower Madison Taylor. So Maddie's got some work to do. 8 laps on the lap board, and Caitlin Corset starting to settle the pace now, but she's got herself a 3.5 second lead, and she'll look to hold that. Louise Jones, handler for Madison Taylor. Madison Taylor rides for Queensland. Caitlin Corset from Townsville. All right, the lead is now down to 2 seconds as Maddie builds. Can Caitlin hold on to her 2 second lead? 6 laps on the lap board. The lead down to 1.5 seconds now. 5 laps on the lap board. Madison Taylor building, and Caitlin Corset now trying to hold on to that lead. Starts out very, very quickly. .2 seconds now. Caitlin Corset ahead of Madison Taylor. 4 laps on the lap board. .1 second now. So it continues to drop. Can Caitlin hold on? 3 laps to go. Madison Taylor trying to lift. Caitlin Corset looking like she's holding her pace. She may have extended just a little bit. Back out to 1.4 seconds. Caitlin Corset looks as if she's lifted. And Madison Taylor struggling. Their legs are burning at this stage. They've already got one individual pursuit in their legs. There's 2 laps on the lap board for Caitlin Corset. Caitlin now back out to 2 seconds. She's got a lap and a half to go. Can Maddie lift? Caitlin Corset, she gets the bell. There's 2.1 seconds in it. It looks like it's too much for Madison Taylor to bring back. Caitlin Corset's lifting. She looks good. She comes into turn 3. She's got this one. Caitlin Corset takes the gold. Madison Taylor, a couple of very good rides. It panned out a little bit different in the final. And Madison Taylor will take the silver. Congratulations to Caitlin Corset, gold in the elite women's individual pursuit. Madison Taylor, silver. A nervous wait for coaches, riders and parents as we wait to see who will take out the championship sprinter for Queensland for 2023. Ryan Elliott has one hand on it, but he's got a massive task ahead of him. Byron Davies will not want to go down to the younger team QAS teammate. Runa would like to finish the day with some bling around his neck. And Nathan Graves is going to give it his best shot to take it to 3. As we've said a few times, a mandatory 10 minutes in between sprint rounds. So we're just waiting for the girls to finish up on the track, but there's no rush because we still need to wind down that 10 minutes. It's a big consideration as a sprinter getting through the competition. There's a lot of riding to do, and it takes a fair bit of endurance to be able to back up with these very high intensity races, race after race. And Caitlin Corset still trying to roll that lactic acid out of the legs. Well, we have heat number 2 coming up for the bronze and the gold finals. These could be the last races, or they could go to 3. Runa de Schriver from Belgium has one hand on the bronze medal. Nathan Graves from Balmoral is going to look to rain on his parade. They get the whistle. Runa leads out. He's in the sky blue Belgium kit. What will he do this time? He would dearly love to have that bronze medal around his neck from this 2023 Queensland Elite Championships. And Nathan Graves, very much an elite level rider. despite being the Masters category. Runa picking up the pace. But Nathan Graves comes with urgency into turn one on the shoulder. Runa responds. And Nathan Graves sits up. It was a good attack, but Runa's going to take this one. Congratulations, Runa, the Shriva, takes the bronze medal. The first of the podium places decided here at Adamir's Velodrome, day 2 of the championships. And who will be joining Runa? Give him a round of applause as he comes past the start finish. A fantastic ride. And what about Nathan Graves? He is in very good form. Well, we've seen some upsets yesterday. Today, will we see another one? It'll be interesting to see what tactics the boys employ in this second heat of the gold final. Ryan Elliott and Byron Davies, both QAS, both Balmoral. Both making themselves a name in the Australian and world cycling communities. Ryan Elliott, obviously, as we've mentioned. Never get sick of mentioning is the current junior sprint champion. Ryan Elliott leads out. Nervous wait. The 3 longest laps for Dad. Waiting to see how this one plays out. Ryan Elliott on the front. Byron Davies following. Can Ryan Elliott take a win over one of Australia's fastest sprinters? The skills, all skills. Track stand there from both riders. Look at these skills. This is very hard to do. A bit of a display. And Ryan Elliott moves away. Byron Davies still happy to give him a little bit of room. They both move up. Byron Davies moves up. Ryan now track stand on the front straight. Bit of synchronised track standing there from the lads. Byron Davies. Oh, you don't often see that. But Byron Davies taking the advantage and out to a pretty big lead. Ryan Elliott with a lot of work to do. There's a lap and a half to go. Byron Davies on the front. Can Ryan Elliott catch? Ryan Elliott putting everything into it. Byron Davies has the ascendancy as they go into turn 1, out of turn 2. It's a very big gap to make up, and Byron Davies is very fast, but Ryan Elliott, he was making headway, but he sits up, and it's one apiece. Well, Ryan Elliott knew that he wasn't going to catch him, so he saved his energy. Now it goes to 3. And that was a sly move there from Byron Davies, who took the opportunity while they were on the fence, track standing, and accelerated, got himself a good advantage. But Ryan Elliott's top speed, it's right up there. So we'll have a 10-minute break. Right, here we are, the last race of the sprint day. Two very good up-and-coming sprinters, Ryan Elliott and Byron Davies. One apiece. Gold and silver medal to be awarded at the conclusion of this race. Ryan Elliott leads out. Byron Davies just hanging a little bit back. Byron now moving up to the fence. Byron now picking up the pace. Will come around over the shoulder. Ryan Elliott now with work to do. They get the bell and Ryan finds himself a fair way back. Byron Davies looks like he has this one sewn up, but Ryan Elliott coming with a lot of pace. But the championships goes to Byron Davies. Gold medal, silver medal to the current junior champion, Ryan Elliott. And that concludes the sprint day, day 2. We'll be back here tomorrow at 4:30, but first we'll be doing the presentations for the elite men under 19 sprints.
Let's do